Okay, this is my second time trying to record this second and a half because I made it halfway through the video and then I fucked up something. So I just want to start it again because I'm trying to do this in all one take. Anyways, I lost the plot with this whole thing of love. And it's mainly because the love that I craved when I was 6 left me. And it was at such a delicate time in my life when I needed it the most. I think is why I felt it the most. And I've just been looking for that feeling ever since. I'm really sorry if the video's all over the place. I mean, I haven't received any complaints about it recently, so I think we're all right. Also, I fucked up shaving a little bit, so don't mind. But yeah, I have been looking for this feeling ever since, and it's affected how I maneuver through relationships significantly. Things don't really pan out the way I expect it to because the standard that I've set for myself is so insanely high. And I feel like everyone has to do that. We don't know what true disillusional love feels like. You just kind of have to set the bar insanely high. Otherwise, the relationship is going to stagnate and you won't see the happiness that you want to achieve from it come to fruition. Like, it just won't happen. And I learned this at a very young age, and it's just fucked with me ever since. And I don't know if it's gonna make me happier or sadder in the long run. No, in the long run, I'm sure it will make me happier. But I feel like it's damaged how I have really treated people and wanted to be friends with people ultimately, because I get attached to the wrong people, I feel like, when I shouldn't. So I just maneuver things very cautiously, and I feel like I could have bonded a lot more better with people if this never happened in the first place, is what I'm trying to say. How did this even happen in the first place, you might ask? And that was when I was 6, dare I say 7 years old. Probably 7, I think, maybe. But I was taken over to a play park with my mum and my brother and my mum's friends' children. I'm gonna turn the light on real quick. So yeah, we were all together at this play park, and I loved this place. I just felt like a little hamster in one of those like hamster tubes. Those tubes were everywhere. It was like the McDonald's play park on Adderall. It was crazy. And I was just infatuated with this place. I would always want to go there. And I was really excited to go there. And so was everyone else. So when we got there, we were all over the place. And we were running around and, just doing our thing, making friends. And I was making friends as well with other people there and just kind of saying hello. I wouldn't say making friends, but it was more just like waves and acknowledgement of people as I went along my day. And it got to lunchtime and we were allowed outside, and like the inflatables got blown up. And that was my favorite part, was the inflatables, because it kind of brought everyone together. So we got to the inflatables, we let our food go down first. That was priority. We couldn't let the food come back up too quickly. So yeah, we were chilling, and then we went to the inflatables. And I saw one of the people that I recognized from the indoor play area, who I thought was really cute. And she had like blonde hair, and she had blue eyes, and she had a lot of freckles. I remember that. I remember the freckles were insane. because I think it was about springtime, kind of around the time that it is right now. And yeah, I was like looking at her a lot, and she caught my attention. And we kind of like slowly but surely found our way to each other. This this inflatable play slide was a war zone. I don't know if you've ever been in one, but it is like king of the hill pretty much. You're not meant to go down the slide. It's just the longest that you can stay at the top of the slide means that you're the fucking alpha. So my goal was to be that guy at the top of the slide that just fucking rules it. He's always at the top of the slide. You don't see him at the bottom of the slide crawling to get back up. You're just chilling at the top of the slide. And yeah, I was trying to get up because I got knocked down. And this girl was also trying to get up. And she saw me and she tried helping me up, and I was like, thank you so much. And then she was like, we gotta team up. We're gonna team up. And like, she was really enthusiastic with this whole like team thing. And she was like, we're gonna be best friends. And I was so on board with it. And like this whole sort of narrative that she drove us and she brought us was literally just the most insane feeling that I had ever felt. Like I was just sent into this completely different world where it was just us against everyone else, and that just felt so magical, something that I had never felt ever in my life before. And I'm like at a loss for words for how much that feeling meant for me in the time. And this is where most of the regret comes from, is not having that feeling anymore. Like if we kept that mindset that it was us against everyone else in the world, and that it was, it was meant to be that it was only us, then I would be in a much better place. But anyways, I'm digressing. There's more to the story. So we are at the top of the slide. We're there. We're doing our thing. It's us against everyone else. We're pushing people off the slide. And we're overall just having a cool time. And everyone else knew that we were the shit. Like, we want to be fucked with at the slide. My voice is getting so sore because I told this story before, but I completely forgot to shave and I didn't notice that, and I really neglected it. So when I watched it through, I was just like, holy shit, I look like Scooby-Doo. I mean Shaggy. I mean Scooby-Doo to some extent, yeah. But anyways, things got a bit more quieter and we went off into the other inflatable. And it was a bit cheeky of us because this inflatable was not meant for like us, because it was like more for like younger children. It was more of like the toddler zone. And she was like, oh, we gotta go in here because this one's cooler. I was like, yeah, let's do that. All right, she was like dragging me around. She was dragging my hand around everywhere. Because like that's how we got up and down the slide, was through our hands and like pulling each other up. And she eventually just held my hand and took me to this other play zone. I didn't really go in it too much, only with my little sister. And she was like showing me around, and she was like, oh, I know this really cool tunnel that's like super like isolated, secret tunnel and all that. Whoa. And yeah, we were just in the tunnel. And I think she asked me like, have you ever kissed anyone? And I was like, no. She was like, do you want to have your first kiss? And I was like, and we kissed. That was my first ever kiss. And we just kept kissing. Like, I don't think it was one of those proper like tongue kisses, because I don't think the knowledge went to that extent at the time, but it was my first kiss, and it was an undescribable feeling. It was like two magnets meeting for the first time, and we just we had to go. I think we went back to like the other slide for a bit, and we were playing around, and it came to closing time, and everyone got together with their families, and we went off. But right before this, at some point I remembered going back to my mom and telling her like about this person that I met and how cool she was. And this is the part that my mom doesn't remember, because I still go to her to this day and I tell her, and she just thinks that it never happened. But yeah, I didn't take her very vague instructions as to where she lived. And I guess that was it. You know, our parents didn't get in contact, even though they were right there in that moment. And, you know, if they'd just done that and made the connection, me and that girl could be very happy together right now. And I'm 100% sure of it, that we would have been soulmates for life, because we were soulmates in that moment, and we wouldn't have been broken apart. I mean, it's easy to think that stuff would have happened and there would have been ups and downs, but, you know, ultimately, I could have my soulmate in my life right now, and I wouldn't be scraping at the door for disillusional love that I crave. And it's really set me back. Like I've been wanting something like this for ages, and it's, you know, after the 15 or 17 years or so, like I'm 22 now, I don't know if the math is on that, but it feels like forever. I haven't found that feeling, and it's really distressing, and I'm so desperate at this point. Like, it's insane, and I just kind of have to go at my own pace, is the way that I see it. But, you know, you kind of just want things to go a million miles per hour, but you can't let that happen, and it won't. Yeah, I don't know, there's not much else to this, really. Thank you for listening, if you made it all this way through. If you did, give me a like, that's always appreciated. Yeah, of course, there'll be more videos like this where I just kind of have the camera out. I feel like you can read what I'm saying from my lips a lot better if you see my face, rather than just having gameplay and stuff. You know, you can hear the words from the horse's mouth. But yeah, subscribe if you want to see other stuff as well. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.